Motorcyclists choose to engage in an activity known to themselves, their loved ones, and the general public as being risky and fraught with dangers. And the question for many is, why? A 2009 study showed that motorcycle riders are 34 times more likely to die in an accident than car drivers. The sense of vulnerability from being on a small, balancing two-wheeled vehicle on roads that are dominated by much larger and heavier cars is more than enough to deter a lot of people from even trying it. I'm sure you yourself or someone you know has heard stories or perhaps even been in an accident themselves. But ask a rider why they still choose to partake, even after hearing all these stories and knowing all of these stats, and they'll probably fumble around with their words for a minute, before eventually saying something along the lines of, "It's a fun escape. It allows me to get away, clear my head and decompress, and it's freedom." So what's going on here? And why does it seem like this dangerous activity is like therapy for these people? Well, have you ever been on a roller coaster? Tell me, when you're climbing up that steep hill with the adrenaline building until finally going into that free fall, are you thinking about anything other than the current situation that you're in? Not a chance. Any of your stress from work or from home or from things going on in society, none of that matters in that current moment. And this is what it's like to ride a motorcycle. By being in such a vulnerable situation, being open and exposed, hurtling down the road, we are forced to zone out of all other aspects of our life and briefly be completely consumed by the current situation. Constantly taking in all of your surroundings, any possible places where hazards may come from, the wind pushing against you, the vibrations from the motor, the feel of the bike on the road as you lean into corners. To be sure, the increased risks that come along with riding might lead to in-the-moment stress, because the danger is real. However, recently in 2018, it was put forward by researchers that motorcyclists develop or have a capability to manage emotions through self-control as a way to survive on the road while riding. Think of it as your body readjusting very quickly its priorities. And that stress from riding on the road is not emotional, it's situational, based on what's happening around you. As soon as you get off your bike, it's gone. Not only that, but there are clear things that we can do to reduce the risks and minimize the dangers so that we still get all of those benefits of being tunnel vision and immersed. We ride in more rural or quieter areas like the mountains or hinterlands. We have a range of rider aids and we have gear to help protect us. After a while, it's sort of just like second nature. I know for myself that when I'm only focusing on the ride, there is virtually no stress. When I was younger, I suffered with really bad anxiety, to the point of being crippled by it. And while I've learnt ways to deal with it now, occasionally it does still bubble to the surface and rear its head. But I know as soon as I head out on my bike and go for a ride, I'll be way more level-headed and calm. Even though both hands and both feet are working independently of each other, you're still aware of what's going on around you. You're watching the road, all of your senses are heightened, and the lack of distraction brings on a feeling of harmony. The sense of adventure only heightens when you find yourself alone on a beautiful road that you've never been to before, discovering new places and routes. At a time in society when mental health has never been more prominent, the sense of escapism, happiness and peace that one can find while riding a motorcycle is invaluable. Solitude is a special occasion that, in my opinion, has been lost in today's constantly connected world. The chance to be alone with one's thoughts is an opportunity to decompress from the stresses of real life and return balance. So despite the risks, riding serves as an escape or an adventure that allows you to be fully immersed. We all know what we're getting ourselves into and the dangers involved, and I'm in no way playing down the seriousness of them. But in a world where it's hard to not be endlessly distracted and it feels like everyone's chained to their phone, it's one of the few things that you can do that forces you to be completely in the moment and aware and free of the noise. The freedom of riding a bike is not physical, but emotional and mental. And perhaps that's the freedom that we as motorcyclists claim is what keeps bringing us back. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.